Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. All right, welcome. Totally Rorree here. Rorree is what I go by. Okay, so I've just finished getting everything together and prepping for this session today. I'm just gonna say today. I'm burning my little rose, lavender, and sage. I just love this. Oh, it makes me feel so good. But anyway, you guys, welcome. All right, so I'm working with cards today, some oracle cards, a few different decks, and I don't know what this message means yet, but let's dive in and see what the universe, what spirit has for us today. All right, so first, let me tell you a little bit about the channel. How about I start with that? Okay, so this is Totally Rorree International. Every day, I like to bring a little something to you that could get your day started off in a positive way. I work with women all over the globe. I also work with men, but I prefer women. This program that we're working on now for this upcoming year, I'm focusing on women. The program is called I Choose Me, and you'll be hearing more about it soon. We have done like a little bit of a pre-launch. We've started a little bit early because of the wonderful planetary shifts and alignments and everything that are happening right now. Okay, so this reading, this session, this is for the collective. This may not resonate with everybody. I'm an intuitive healer and coach. So, my information is intuitively guided. However, it often may come off a little bit coachy because I've been an intuitive reader and coach for so long. So anyway, I'm going to get started now. All right, the first card that came up was beauty. So when this card came up, I was like, okay, where is this going? Okay. All right, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's really a pretty card. It's a young lady. But I'm going to look at it first and then see what I am getting from it. She has a compass. She has a piece here. But there's a snake in the picture, and the snake is kind of looking at her. I'm going to show you the picture real quickly, if you can see that. All right, so that card came up first, and what I'm getting from the beauty card is, especially as it may relate to the rest of the cards, is that your beauty is within. Your beauty is inside of you. Oftentimes we look outside of ourselves. We look at only what we see in the mirror. When I say outside of ourselves, we look for validation from outside to determine what is beautiful for us on the inside. And this I feel like this card for today is saying that we all are beautiful. You all are beautiful, and you have to know that your beauty doesn't depend on what somebody else thinks or what someone else says. Whatever someone thinks about you, that's their business. And since this program is all about choosing yourself, I just want to encourage all of you to know your inner worth and to know your inner self. And you may need to sit back and look at yourself in the mirror. I remember, well, it's not even, I was going to tell a story, but I'm not going to tell that story. But, sometimes you don't even look at yourselves in the mirror, even though there's a mirror right there. When you get up, you get showered and everything, you wash your face and you're doing yourself for the day, you're brushing your teeth or whatever. And there's a mirror right there. But so often we're not looking in the mirror. We're not looking at that person right there. And I know I've said before that Like, I love myself no matter what, no matter what weight, no matter whether I have acne scars, even though I hate acne scars, you know what I mean? I do not like weighing certain weights that are higher than what I normally weigh. But I still love myself with all of this. And I say all of this, like Gina, what's her name? Her name's not Gina in the show, My Wife and Kids. But anyway, but she always would say all of this. I think she would say that on Martin too, Tisha Campbell. But anyway, you know, we all need to know that our beauty is with comes from within, then it goes without, and we have to see that in ourselves. If we don't know that we're worthy and that we're beautiful, then why do we expect someone else to? So we need to start right here. The buck stops here with self, knowing your beauty and knowing your inner worth. The next card that came out was expectations. Don't seek approval. Don't seek anyone else's approval. And this card is really cool. This is a young lady, and she's sitting there looking all cool and happy. And what I see in the picture, I see like a little fairy on her knee saying, "Hey, girl." And she's smelling a rose. Sometimes you need to just sit back and smell the roses. Sometimes we're so busy expecting what we expect, and going after a goal, chasing, chasing, chasing. And when you chase something, sometimes you chase something so much, it feels like whatever it is that you're chasing starts to run away from you. So, number one, let's try to limit the expectations of others, and stop chasing after things and just allow things to come to you. Too often we get down because our expectations are not met, especially by other people. I had to tell my daughter about that the other day. I'm like, people will always let you down because we're not human and we're all different. And we've got to work on our expectations of somebody else. We just had this conversation like yesterday. But you know and I try to wear my own sunglasses and make sure that I recognize that the next person has their own sunglasses, so that my expectations are more realistic of them. You know what I mean? I try to look at them through their own sunglasses versus through mine, and not be so judgmental and critical of somebody else because my expectations aren't being met. And sometimes I release expectations. So that's what I would encourage you all to do. Like, you may be in a relationship or something, and you have expectations of this other person and they're just failing all the time. Sometimes you might need to just sit back and let go and release the expectations of them. Let them be and do whatever they're going to be or do, and you just watch. And what you'll notice is the more you release the expectations of another person, the less disappointed you will become. And that takes practice. It takes time. I know initially, when I first started to work on myself with releasing expectations of other people, it took a lot. It took a lot of self-talk. So you may have to talk to yourself. You may have to say, okay, all right, I really didn't like how that went, but it takes some self-talk. It takes some analysis of a situation. You may have to really be looking at the situation and analyzing it to see, what could you do differently? What could you have done differently? They didn't do something differently. This is how they did this, so you got what you got. Sometimes you have to meet people where they are. I talk to people and I talk about tools in the toolbox. And a person has a set of tools in their toolbox, and we always talk about sharpening the saw, working on yourself to get better. But there are some people that don't really work on themselves. They've never heard of personal development in their lives. So they're not really working on themselves. And if you are if that is you, if that is the person who has never worked on themselves and they have this set of tools in their toolbox, well, you can't expect them with this set of tools. Let's say they have a set of tools to be a plumber, but you need an electrician. So you can't expect them with their set of toolbox to come be an electrician. If you're dealing with a person and they are not empathetic, or they are selfish or whatever, and that's what they know, that's what's ingrained in them, that's how they were raised. They were raised to be like this. They woke up like this. So if that is the situation, then you have to just kind of like go with the flow and meet them where they are. These are the tools that are in their toolbox. I remember I used to coach this young lady, and one time I told her, I said, see, you are expecting this from this person. And I said, look at it like this. I said, you're like a MacBook Air, and that person is like a Commodore 64. That's what that person's tools are like. That person operates like a Commodore 64. Those of you who don't know, that was like one of the first computers way back in the day. I'm dating myself now, right? Okay. So anyway, so I was like, he's like a Commodore 64. Look it up and see if you can find what one of those look like. He's a Commodore 64. You're like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air or something like that. So like, you can't expect for him to operate like you. You can't expect for him to express himself like you, and plus he's a man, you're a woman, so it's already going to be some differences, right? In the way we express ourselves and the way we think and the way we receive. But you're also dealing with the fact that this joker is a Commodore 64 and you're a MacBook Pro. So your expectations are off. You're expecting him to be a MacBook Pro and he's a freaking Commodore 64. So you need to, look at what you're expecting and look at the tools in the toolbox. Does he even have the capacity to be a freaking MacBook Pro? I mean, that's a big difference. Does he even have that capacity? And you could be getting all mad at somebody and getting all upset with somebody for disappointing you, which, that's all on you. How you receive something, your disappointment is on you, not on that person. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But you got to look at the tools in the toolbox and manage your expectations. There's so many people that are down in the dumps, depressed and feeling low in life, and they're upset over things that they can't do anything about. If you can't do anything about it, then let that go. And that's what the next card says. Surrender to the divine. Let it go. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. And that's what I do. I look at situations, and that's what I want you all to do. Look at a situation. If there is nothing you can do about that except give it to God, then that's what you need to do. Okay. I believe that faith without works is dead. I believe that you have to have some action. If you have a goal, if you have a mission in life, there has to be some action. Okay. But if you are dealing with a situation that there is nothing you can do about it in this moment, then why are you focusing on it? Some people like to beat shit till it's dead, and there is nothing that anybody could do about it. Nothing. If you can't affect change, then affect your mindset and think about something else, And I'm a Gemini, so I could quickly change my thought. It might not be as easy for others. But anyway, you might want to shift your thoughts, shift your consciousness, and just be mindful that with the approval thing, you don't need somebody else's approval. You need your own. You and your higher self, you and your Rorree. You and God, whatever name you have for God, you and that one, okay? Along with your higher self, your Rorree. You have to work with yourself and get approval by yourself. I remember at one point, how old was I? I can't remember how old I was, but I realized that I was still seeking approval from my mother. And I realized that I think I had lived most of my life seeking my mother's approval, seeking her to be pleased or happy with something that I did or whatever. And to the point that it was stressful, because sometimes you, I might feel like I never can get approval. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just feel like you just can't do what they want, or make them happy. And then I had to realize it's not my job to make my mother, my father, or anybody else happy. It is my job to bring happiness and joy to myself. Now, other people they may find happiness in dealing with me. They might have joy added to them from dealing with me, but it is definitely not my job to make you happy. And that goes for you and your parents. So, and that's a whole serious subject there, because some people have anxiety disorder, some people are depressed and everything because they still trying to please their parents. And that is not what they need to be doing. And sometimes you could actually be pleasing your parents, but you just don't know it because your parents don't know how to show you that you have pleased them, because of their tools in their toolbox. Sometimes we don't show love in the same ways. Sometimes we don't show appreciation and gratitude and things of that like that in the same ways. So it is not received. That's why oftentimes if you have little people, you need to talk to them. You need to have conversations with them, because we don't all show love and gratitude and stuff like that in the same ways. And your little people might be thinking something that totally isn't true, that kind of screws them up a little bit forever, for the rest of their lives until they get somebody to help them with that. So talk to your little people and be open to understanding, and be open to changing a little bit if you are not showing up in the right way for them, and show them that, yeah, you receive this like this, I show it like this. So let's come to a happy medium. Maybe I can show it a little bit like how you like to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're not talking about parenting right now. We're talking about being our best selves. And you will feel less stressed when you have release expectations of other people. Okay. You will have less stress when you just see through your own sunglasses and stop trying to make somebody else be you. You're trying to make somebody else be what you want. When you are dealing with others in relationships, you have to allow them to be who they are, not what you want them to be. And if you're in a relationship, like a couple's relationship, if you're in that relationship and you're in Hopeville, that's what I call it, Hopeville, when you're hoping they'll change, you're hoping they'll do this, you're hoping they'll be like that, be like this or like that, hoping that they'll be something that what they are right in front of you, then you need to look at yourself, because maybe you're just not with the right person. If you are with that person wanting them to be somebody else, like, that's not fair to the person, because you're going to make them have low self-worth, because you're going to be wanting them to be something that they're not. So anyway, expectations, please manage your expectations and check yourself. Every time you're sitting up there saying she this or he that or whatever, look back at yourself. Okay, what do I have to do with this? Where have I been in the midst of this whole situation? And sometimes you have to let it go, surrender to the divine, let go and let God, let God take care of that situation. I remember so many times when I got to a point in a situation where I was like, I really don't know what else to do. I remember times when I would just be crying, like, I don't know what to do. And then I would just like, I've gotten down on my face before on the ground, just sprawled out and just talking to God and saying, you take this, because I can't do it no more. Take this. You got it. I took it off my back. You take it. I can't do it no more. Take it. You know, and then it's like a monkey off your back when you give it to God and be like, look, I done tried this. I done bumped my head, busted my elbow, scraped my knee, fractured my toe. And I'm tired. I can't take it no more. You got this, God. I'm done. Okay? You got it. You know, and at that point, you know, there's a release. And then you're allowing God to help you do whatever it is. Sometimes we are so in control, especially as strong women. We're so in control. We're so used to driving the bus and driving every direction and fixing everything that we forget that we are human and that we could have some help if we just ask for it. So sometimes you need to just let go, let God, surrender to the divine, and then just keep it moving. You know, sometimes you could write it down. Sometimes I write down my desires. I write it down in a journal book and I write what I want. And then I do my prayer work. I do all my stuff. And then slowly the stuff starts to manifest. And these are the things that I put in this particular book. And all right, you got these. I don't know how these gonna happen, but I desire these things to happen. I don't know how, but here, you got it. Okay, so you may need to do that. All right, so now there are some other cards that came out, and I feel like they're all about this shift that we're going into. It's about messages and communication, and Aquarius came up on a card. I said, it's about this age of Aquarius. And then it was clarity, the third eye. I was like, get out of here. What's the likelihoods of these cards coming out together, these three? And it's all about us stepping into the age of Aquarius, which it's about enlightenment. You know, it's when your eyes are opened. You know, those of us who are already awake will become more awake. More things will come in. We will receive more. What do they call them? I can't even remember what they're called, but you know, like every once in a while, things happen in the universe, and then I get more downloads. Like I learn how to do more things, and I don't even know that I know more things. Like I'll be doing healing work, and something else will happen. I'll be like, "Ooh, I know I could do that," but that's everything being downloaded. You know, God working with me. You know, and the universe imparting things upon us, activating things within us. So those of you who are awake, you will become more awake. All right, some of you who are vibrating high enough, you will start to see, your eyes will become open. You will be more clear in this new age. We're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. Okay, that's a whole nother topic in itself. You can look it all up on the internet. I'm writing some stuff to give to you guys on that. I won't have it to you by the 21st of December, but you know, which is when you're going to be watching this. But this is very interesting that this session is for that day, and these are the three cards that came up. I was like, get out of here. So this is the time, you guys, you got to keep your vibrations high. Keep your vibrations high. You know, forget about the negativity. And like these expectations lead to low vibrations when you're expecting things of other people all the time. Just expect stuff of yourself. Work on yourself. You know, too often we always trying to train somebody else. Change yourself. Work on you. You know what I mean? So definitely expect new things to happen in your life. Expect great things to happen. A card that had jumped out was, your hard work is paying off. Your hard work is paying off. It's time. I know one of the one of the sessions I did last week, I must have said, it's your time, it's your turn, like 50 times. But it's your time, and it is your turn. If you are someone that has done a lot of hard work and you've planted a lot of seeds, I always talk about seed time and harvest. You know, you know how you plant your seeds. We don't have any idea what the time is going to be. But when the harvest comes, it's wonderful. And it's time for some of you to receive a harvest. Many of you are going to receive a harvest. And I feel like if you're watching this now, it is time for you to receive a harvest. Now, this is timeless, even though this message is for December 21st of 2020. This is timeless also. So if you see this a year from now, or a month from now, or 2 months from now, that is your time to receive your harvest. So you're going to see some harvest coming in. All your work that you have done has paid off. I know some of you are sitting there wondering, when the heck is it going to be my time? You like, Lord, I done planted so many seeds. I feel like a farmer, right? Okay, so anyway, and then we got a couple more cards, 3 more cards. And what are they talking about? Choose to be peaceful. And that's what I'm talking about. Choose the higher thought. Choose the things that vibrate higher. If you find yourself going to a place of negativity, you can say cancel, cancel. You could just release that. You could create and destroy roses and blow those negative feelings or thoughts up in a rose. Try not to stay in the negative vibration for too long. You know, some people used to say, well, I'm having a bad day. I'm like, damn, can you just change that to a bad moment or a bad minute? You know, can you release that? You know, allow yourself to have that moment and then move on. You know, blow that up in a rose, because we don't need any more negative energy being fed into the things that are going on on this planet right now. We really need some positive vibrations pumping into this planet, into this universe here, positive vibrations. So the more you can keep yourself vibrating high, the better. You know, you can play some high frequency music. I was telling someone the other day, are you playing your high frequency music? You know, every moment that you get, play your music, because you don't want to keep allowing your spiritual connection to be dimmed out by low vibrations, because then your spiritual connection is not with your higher source, it's with a different source, and you might not want to be tapping into that shit again. Okay, all right, because that shit ain't fun. I'm just being real. It's not fun when you're dealing with low level beings, okay, and demons and stuff like that. That's not fun at all. Okay, I have dealt with people that we've had to deal with those kind of things with them, and it's not fun. And we know now that when you vibrate low enough, you allow those things to enter your space. So when you vibrate low enough, you allow dis-ease to come in your body. And the dis-ease could be spiritual dis-ease, you know, attracting low vibrating beings, or you could be attracting physical dis-ease, emotional dis-ease, you know. So choose the higher thought. Let's keep it positive and let's practice. You could practice one day at a time, practicing that. You could do, I'm doing a 30-day challenge with Ho'onopono. I don't know what day I'm on right now, but I haven't missed any days. I haven't done it long. Like some days I'll do it for 100, like these are mala beads. They're 108 beads. Is it 108? I'm like, is it 108 beads, 107? Look, now I can't even remember. But I do, like, I'll say the Ho'onopono for each bead, you know, going around. And I look, my brain don't forgot how many beads it is. Anyway, I'll look it up for y'all. But anyway, but this helps me to know how many times I said it. And it's an auspicious number to say a prayer, chant, or a mantra. So I do that. I do different mantras, like I do the Gayatri mantra this many times, you know. But these type of things help to keep your vibration high, you know. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, but I do practice Buddhism, and I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, SDI Buddhism. So I do chant that, not every day. I might say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo like at least 3 times a day, but sometimes I might chant the Daimoku. I might chant like for 30 minutes, for an hour, whatever. At one point, I used to chant 1 day a week. I used to chant for 3 hours, um, daimoku. And this helps to keep your vibration high. It helps to raise your vibration. So you need to do what you have to do for yourself. I'm not telling you what to do, but you do something, so that you can keep things positive and keep it peaceful, because that's the only way we're going to see the positive shifts of consciousness and things of that nature in our lives and on this planet. You don't want to end up in a different type of state of being, because you very well could if you keep yourself vibrating low. And then the next card was the key. You have the key. We are the key. That's what I feel. We are the key. The collective consciousness, the collective force of beings on this planet. We are the key to the next level, to the age of Aquarius, to enlightenment, to healthy lives, to abundance of positive things in our lives. We are the key. And then the last card that was pulled, or that fell out, was you are guided and protected. And that is so phenomenal. We are guided and protected. We are. And you have to know that, and if at any point you feel like, man, I think something's not right, you need to go talk to somebody. Don't be thinking something's not right. I had this one client, and he was going through some things, and he was feeling like something wasn't quite right. And then he was hearing spirit, because he was one of my people in my workshops, where I teach people how to tap into their gifts, and how to raise their vibrations, and how to hear and see spirit on a higher level, and how to use the gifts that they have. So, I have different types of people in this class. Some people are card readers, tarot readers, and stuff like that, and they want to tap more into their intuitive gifts. So that, I do this. So one of my students was hearing things, but they weren't so positive. And I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me that? I'm like, you should have told me you were dealing with this, because we've got to tap into that. We got to figure out what the hell is going on. And it just so happened that because of a work environment and some other things, his vibration just went very low, which opened the door for craziness, right? So then there's a journey you have to go on to undo what has been done, to help release any negativity and bring in positivity, and figure out, how did it come in? How do I not let it in again? What do I have to do? Things of that nature. So you have to learn how to do this for yourself. You have to figure out, how do I keep raising my vibration? How do I keep my vibration high? Those of you who feel like you're depressed all the time, always murmuring and complaining all the time, you need to check yourself, because you're probably vibrating low, and you need to raise your vibration so that you're not, allowing yourself to be susceptible to any low vibrating anything. You know what I mean? You don't want any disease or spiritual attacks. And all of that is real. Those of you who follow, I'm sure all the books talk about, all the different books that people, all the religious books and spiritual books talk about low vibrating beings. They do. And I know the Bible talks about casting the demons out and things of that nature. And the Bible also talks about greater works we will do, in our day. And it's like, I don't know why people think that that is not true, that we would not do greater works. We are supposed to be healers, just like they were in the Bible. We are supposed to use nature to heal, energy to heal. When someone touches the hem of your garment and the energy leaves you and you feel it, and the other person is healed, what is that? Energy work. Hello. Okay. Spiritual work. Okay. So, when someone takes minerals from the earth and puts it on your eyes and makes you see again, you were blind and now you see. What is that? That is using the energy from the earth, the minerals and things from the earth, using nature to heal the body. We're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're too this collective bullshit that's on this planet right now has us too into medicine, medication, and stuff. But a lot of the medicines have a little bit of good in them. They have some herbs and spices and minerals and stuff in them, but then they put a bunch of shit in it to keep you coming back. So anyway, I'm not even gonna go into that. So anyway, you guys, this is a wonderful day today. Find some ways in this upcoming year, find some ways to keep your vibration high. Do two things for yourself every day that's going to raise your vibration, whatever that is, whether it's some breath work. You could do some breath work in the morning, like I do the Ujjayi breath and the Bhastrika, and I do the different stages, you could do that. You could do some different breathing techniques. You can do some mouth breathing or some nose breathing, whatever you want to do. You can speak out some affirmations. You can get some affirmation cards. I have daily. I don't have them right here. But anyway, I have some prospermation cards. You can read some affirmation cards daily on my page, all my social media pages. All I do every day is post positive things that you speak out to the universe. Speak it out, claim it, and I word it in the way that you should say it. So when you read it, you are speaking these things out for yourselves. Speak them out. Every time you see one of my quotes pop up, say it. Speak it out like you mean it. Say it 3 times and then say, Ashe, it is, so it is. Okay. All right. So anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this session. Please keep your vibration raised. Please know that you are beautiful, and it is up to you to be the beauty that is within inside you, that God gave you. You know what I mean? It's not somebody else's opinion. It's not up to somebody else. Remember, watch your expectations. Remember those tools in the toolbox. Okay. Stop expecting somebody to be able to be a plumber when they was an electrician. Okay. And don't forget, this is a time for enlightenment. This is a time for clarity. This is a time for you to open up your third eye, to work with your pineal gland. And there is a herb that you can put, and I don't have it down here. It is a little essential oil that I put on the bottom of my big toe before I go to bed, because most of us have had immunizations, and a lot of things that we have calcify our pineal gland. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are stuck and they can't see intuitively or see clearly, having clairvoyance, clear vision. There is an oil. I'm gonna get it from my nightstand, and I will put it in the description box. But I got this essential oil. I put it on my toes because I did have immunizations. Okay. And then what else can you do to help yourself with the new age of Aquarius? You can also take a little bit of baking soda and water once a week. I do a tiny bit of baking soda with a cup of water, so it might be like a half a teaspoon of baking soda with like a cup of water. And once a week I drink that, and that helps to flush out the heavy metals. I always tell people, go to your doctor. I'm not a naturopathic medicine doctor. I have just been into naturopathic medicine probably almost all my life. So, but I'm not a naturopathic medicine doctor. So any recommendations that I give you on that level, you should definitely run it by your doctor, even essential oils, because essential oils are powerful. But definitely do that, do something to raise your vibration, because it's our time and it's our turn. Ashe, 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 y'all. Have a great day.